Hello there, commanders, and welcome back to Wargames Institute number 2. We are in the semi-final, second semi-final between White Wolves and Geese, and whoever wins advances to the final to face off against SUNTZU, and whoever loses is going to face off against Wargames Institute in the third place match that we are going to cover next. So, I said that I don't know what team Geese is, but once I see their names, I'll probably be able to identify. And yes, I was correct. They are a Russian team, or maybe a mix of Russian and Ukrainians. I don't really know which ones are Ukrainians and which one are Russians, but I would expect there is some kind of a mixture there. Maybe, maybe not. I don't really know. But White Wolves are a mixture of a Polish team and a Spanish team. Iberian Wolves and White Eagles, hence White Wolves, which are reference, so that's really nice as well. Maybe shows a little bit of a Polish advantage within that team, as there are more Polish members in that team than there are the Spanish members. But that's a little bit beyond the point. Let's see what both teams are up to. Both teams quite heavily committing to the AD flank. Let's see on to C. Elephants are struggling to walk against trees, but C is essentially ignored by both of the teams. The elephants are there, but they're walking away. They're trying to grab the watchtower, maybe see what's up here, but they aren't going to spot anything because the watchtowers don't really spot each other. So both teams were really not wanting to take C for free. I mean, if none of them wanted to take free, then if both of them wanted to take free, then it wouldn't be free. But well, a little bit of an advantage over here already to Geese. That's another bizarre name, but yeah, Team Geese. As they're wrecking here the Hannibal Spears quite heavily, they might have been extremely effective, but what are they using? They're probably using their own, yep. As Hannibal Spears, but they do have a little bit more, or rather the Geese Hannibal Spears have a little bit more reinforcements, so that's why they're winning the overall engagement. Maybe they have also micromanaged that a little bit better. 2 units of infantry with units of infantry over here, but as Geese is advancing towards the point itself, well, White Wolves will be able to heal up, and even though they have a disadvantage over here that they have gotten themselves into, they will be able to nullify that disadvantage, turn it into an advantage, because they're going to heal everything up while the Geese team cannot recover their lost health bars. So we'll see how that plays out going into the future. C is now going to be contested as soon as it unlocks 2 elephants versus 1 unit of spears. That's Hazardable spears. We'll see if the elephants can kill them quickly and convincingly enough. If they can, they will be able to take C for themselves, but ideally you would send 1 pike unit, for example, in there to deal with that and easily take C for yourself, even if that would mean losing D. But I don't know if 1 pike unit would really make that much of a difference. As I'm being teleported back, somebody has spawned in here on E, and they're going to push through with their Hannibal Spears and C. Those Hannibal Spears are not leveled up, and they're all below half HP. And this Hannibal Spear is also not leveled up, but they're full HP. And now they're going to be able to kill all of these units and get XP that way, and maybe kill them. Well, they have just leveled up, so lucky for them. That has not been the case with every other unit in here, that one of them is about to get routed. Drops the flying though, so not going to get routed, but he's just going to be eaten. Very nicely... Wait, no. Yeah. That's not very nicely positioned Scorch Earth, because that's friendly fire. So very badly positioned Scorch Earth, causing a lot of friendly fire. And equalizing the Hannibal versus Hannibal matchup before it even started. Oh, that's quite a huge misplay by the White Wolves team, but they're still going to hold on. Those foxes are holding pretty well in there. That may no longer be the case once the archers are going to get on top of them or draw their attention, and once Hannibal decides to pull through. But another set of units has healed up and continue pushing onto E. It's very, very, very difficult to capture a point, even though you keep fighting outplays all the freaking time. And the enemy team misplays with very badly positioned scorched earths. So triple winning and still not enough power to punch through the power of a healing zone. I'm just going to point that out. But speaking of power of the healing zone, that one has been denied over here. So well played there by the Geese team, and they are going to have a huge advantage. Another camera flip because another time another player has died. So D is still contested, and maybe it will go under the control of White Wolves, but this time around it is an equal match because no team has a healing zone anymore. The team is sorry, the point is neutral, but still on the side of the White Wolves team, so they can just respawn at their base. That is going to be much closer than anything that is available to the Geese team. C is still being contested. Elephant versus a sword unit, elephant versus spear unit, and elephants are slowly winning in that 1v1 engagement. And that is SUNTZU infantry. That's quite rare, actually. Not a very meta pick. I guess it somewhat works against elephants, lowering their damage. That one elephant is actually about to go down with only one left, so he needs to try to escape. He did level up though already. Okay, it has gone down. Oh, probably with just passive experience being gained by a lot of units being killed. And yeah, White Wolves are going to hold on to E despite losing threefold. And now they're going to push back the Geese team, and we'll see if they will be able to drive that momentum to get B. They definitely need to do that because there are a huge disadvantage. C still being held by elephants, and now Geese team has decided, okay, we failed to capture E. We do have some time before they arrive onto our point. We do have people respawning in there as well, so B should be fine. We will see if White Wolves can pull off any outplays again on B to try to capture it. But yep, Geese team is sending units to C, try to do with that elephant. They do have 2 pike units. Yeah, that sword is just in the way. Let's get it pikes onto it, kill the elephant, even at the cost of friendly fire. Yeah, 2 units. Doesn't matter if they friendly fire each other. All that matters is killing that elephant, and then everything else will be able to be healed up. So yeah, they did friendly fire each other a little bit. That's not Kinana. Holy shit, that was fast. The phalanx are position, right? Nope. That was a fast pike unit, okay? Oh. Ah, that's what happened. Yep. Yeah, it's also not very meta pick, but when it comes to buffing phalanx, have you seen that? Holy shit. Yep. That's quite bizarre because actually you can just take Chinese spikes on SUNTZU, but you cannot use one step ahead one phalanx, although you can use it before in phalanx. So they cannot use what phalanx is currently active, so I guess that would disable as you activate. Yeah, automatically activate when phalanx is currently active. But that is not the case for this pike phalanx, I guess. Though it should, because it is phalanx currently active. So that's a bug. Yep, that should have been disabled 0.1 second after phalanx is active. I would like to investigate that further because I don't really know what happened there, if that was actually that or not. Maybe it had just lasted 1/10 of a second and they have just covered such a huge distance in that time frame. But that was definitely interesting to see. So White Wolves are pushing into B. But do they have enough power? I don't think so. The archers for Geese team are going to heal up, and yeah, quite wisely, I guess. Or no, okay, the White Wolves archers are not going to retreat. They're still trying to dish out some DPS, maybe trying this. Okay, this unit is probably going to rout if only they can find one more flank. They definitely should, but they're not doing that. I think it has an attack. Okay, there we go. The flank just didn't trigger because flanks are a thing. This unit is going to make it on top of the point. Birdie. It needs to push through. It should be able to contest. The archers are there as well. They can just slot into that little gap in the formation. And the B point should be held onto. Even though the healing is slightly being denied over here. It's not enough. You need an elephant on top of there, or a ranged unit, but they don't have either of them because elephants are here on top of C. It has been captured, obviously, by the pikes. The reinforcements from the White Wolves team have not arrived in time. They did manage to get D in that fair fight that was going on there, but well, now that C is captured, that is advantage to the Geese team, although, well, they had that advantage for quite a while. Just by contesting E, I guess. Well, contesting both E and D, so just being on forward position. And now it's kind of reversed actually, because C and B are being contested, so despite having fewer points under their control, White Wolves are getting more points per second. But as I said in the previous battles, that is not a sustainable strategy. You can do that for a while, you cannot do that forever. Those elephants are going to die, and any units that you send to contest, they're going to die. They're going to feed XP to the opposing team, and the defending team is going to emerge on a positive end of that trade. In the end, although the White Wolves were on a positive trade of that for quite a while, as the attack of Geese team onto E was quite extensive as well, and they have managed to feed a lot of XP to the enemy. Although they're pretty effective at killing of the units, or maybe White Wolves were quite effective at dying with their units, which it's not really what we want to see. Now we'll see Triple Hannibal in action, flanking a unit from the front, all three flanks applied, even though that unit was just engaged frontally. Again, Triple Phalanx memes plus morale system memes equals a unit completely surrounded from the front. And also completely deleted from the front because Triple Phalanx. Triple Phalanx in pull through, so yeah. Well, that's a little bit of Phalanx memes and a little bit of morale memes, because you cannot really do that with a regular infantry that doesn't have access to Phalanx. But morale memes are still very much a thing. And I guess that's one of them. But well, doesn't look like any of the teams is going to contest any other points anytime soon, other than Geese team advancing towards Z. They do have an advantage. They don't really need to press it. They can just comfortably sit on top of the points, but they're not content with it. I mean, 500 points of an advantage is not enough of an advantage to just sit back and relax, even though in a very, very theoretical sense that is advisable. And we have actually Kanane versus Kanane duels now, as White Wolves have previously opted for, well, first Javelins and then Ambiorix Arches. Now they have switched to Kanane Arches. I think they have finally realized that that's really the way to go. Although maybe it has just been a response to the fact that the enemy took Kanane Arches themselves. I don't really know what order of the draft was there back then and now. So yeah, they might have just taken, well, it was Javelins versus, was it Kanane Arches and Ambiorix? It doesn't really matter. We're not here really analyzing the draft beyond the initial point. But yeah, maybe you would like to see a little bit more of a draft analysis, as after all, I was the expert who have drafted for the SUNTZU team. Even though I was not really supposed to do that, I just kind of naturally did that. And I also don't think our drafts were very good, but that have partially come from the lack of flexibility of some of our members. And by saying that, I mean myself. My inability to play anything else than ranged, essentially. Which is why we picked ranged at all. Because, yeah. Someone decided that I should play, because I apparently provide a voice within a team, and that voice is more valuable than the sacrifice we are doing by bringing range units. So yeah, ideally would have just somebody else be able to shot call and play melee units at the same time. But well, as I said, limitations of the players we actually have in our clan, in our team. Then we're looking at a stalemate over here, some units pushing in, but well, they won't be able to go past the pike phalanx and the spear phalanx, so no fireworks expected here. Also 4 units versus 4 units. C, the Geese team is controlling pretty well, so they should be able to hold on to it. Plus they have the healing zone. As I said earlier in the previous Captain Hill battle, once C is captured, it is very difficult for the other team to capture it, and we see that being playing out here. Yeah, the White Wolves are trying to push up there, but yeah, let's go with our analysis. What can White Wolves do to come back into this battle? It's not looking very hot for them, that's for sure. I would definitely drop any attempts of attacking C, which is sadly what they're doing. Sadly for them, I guess. I'm kind of neutral in this battle. But Geese are going to heal up, heavily pushing through to, or the archers are going to position so that they can deny the healing. That's pretty good, but can you actually protect them from the spears that are coming in? You can, okay. Ooh, I can just very heal before being shot. Final Shade being used now, so Final Shade is going to entirely block. That's Canada though, so hand lowers missile block chance by 20. So you can actually go down 41. Let's see, that gives you plus 40. Okay, that's actually not enough missile block chance at tier 6. Maybe he didn't upgrade Final Shade to reach 100% missile block chance, but I'm pretty sure you can get 100% missile block chance on tier 6. Although I haven't checked at any time recently, so maybe I'm just wrong. But whatever the case, you can actually still shoot them at automatic healing, even if they are in Fight in the Shade. Okay, let's see if White Wolves can actually hold on to capture C. It was looking quite promising for them, but the units that were attacking D have realized that they are not going to capture D, so they're just going to reinforce C, since the White Wolves have pushed quite a lot of units there. And by doing so, they have also weakened their E flank. So there have Geese have quite a huge forces over there in the area. Barely anything. I don't really count the ranges. They can't contest the point anyway, and they cannot really slow down the Geese advance. Let's look at that blob of melee units. They have 6 units over here, 2 more over here. And what do White Wolves have to defend? Oh, they have just respawned 1 player, so there's that. Let's see, the Folksman player is going to bring back 2 units as well, so it's going to be 6 units. Sword player is going to bring back 1 unit as well. That healing is not going to be denied. The Geese team is not close enough to do that. So it's going to be 8 units versus 8 units. The edge is a little bit more healthy. Dogs are coming in as well with a little bit of reinforcements. Sword unit is going to be stopped ahead of the point. It's stopped moving forward. Well, what did I say? You counter ranges by moving forward, and you're not doing that, and now you're turning around, but you have essentially lost ground. You have just given up ground, like from here to here. You could have easily started that engagement over here, because that opens a little bit more of a, closes a little bit of a gap for the dogs. I don't know, if you send them up here, do they catch aggro onto this? I'm not an expert dog player, so I don't know if they would actually catch aggro here. But it could have been possible. You could have sent these dogs against the archers, although archers could have just dodged, and the dogs wouldn't catch aggro onto the archers anyway. Let's see. Still close enough for the Geese archers to have a range onto the entire healing zone, so they can still deny that. Dogs are being denied from healing, the archers are being wrecked because it's 3v2 after all. And yeah, the infantry from Geese is winning because they have more XP, and maybe they're just better players as well. They have definitely played quite well now that they have actual number advantage. Although I think they still had number advantage from to begin with, right? Plus they have Hannibal triple pull through, which wasn't present for the White Wolves team there, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that it wasn't. So yeah, Hannibal difference essentially. That's Hannibal difference here kicking in for you. Just routing units from the front, deleting them with add port as triple phalanx pull through. And that will be most likely points secured, as nobody's really trying to heal. Now after the melee units have been defeated, ranged units need to give up ground, so the units from the White Wolves will be able to heal, but as the routed healing isn't available. There we go, now Hannibal spawns in, but it is going to be too little too late. Dogs are still routed, plus there's a unit over here that could have denied that healing. Another player spawning in, so even despite they're going to lose it, alright, it is going to be flipped. We will see if it's going to be lost. You still have roughly 10-15 seconds to get in there. They're going to be blocked. Geese team is not going to let that through, plus they're blobbing, so that's not really going to work. I mean, blobbing because they're trying to find the shortest way, but they're not going to find it. The shortest way is not going to be short enough, and point E is going to be captured. Now the healing zone appears for the Geese team, and well, White Wolves, they might try to contest, but will they be able to actually win? So Hannibal versus Hannibal pulling through each other, dealing massive damage, as you can see. But XP advantage, well, how is it for the Hannibal actually? It's to, yeah, XP advantage is on the side of the Geese Hannibal, and the White Wolves Hannibal, and yeah, all those units have healed up. And even though that was an equal fight at the beginning, thanks to the healing zone, it has quickly gone the other way around. C, obviously, as I said, cannot be captured, so whatever happened there was pretty obvious, and yeah, White Wolves are going to hold on to D, to what of it. I expected them to maybe launch an attack over here, and I think I said at the beginning, like, oh, let's see what White Wolves can do, but they can't really do anything because they're under so much pressure. Well, could have done, but I want to say they could possibly try to push D, seeing how many units are on this flank, right, and seeing how lost cause of a fight that was. Well, first of all, don't commit to C as well, right? If you don't commit to C, you have more units to defend E, and more units to maybe attack D. Because once you lose C, give up on it, essentially, on this map. It's close to untakeable and need to commit many more resources than the enemy team has to defend it. And if you commit that many more resources, even if you take C, then you would lose everywhere else. So investing into C is really not a good idea here. Because remember, it is a 10v10, but those are coordinated teams, right? If you commit 5 units, like, everybody is going to fight, right? It's not like somebody is going to camp and be useless or whatever, unless they're just doing exactly that. But to their point, they don't need to, right? It was the Polish team that was camping D, even though they cannot afford the luxury of camping. They're vastly behind in points, so they need to push forward, and they didn't. They could have contested A maybe, right, if they managed to push through and get another point. A would be contested, but they could definitely have at least tried, but they didn't even try. They instead tried to attack C, tried to defend E, which also was a pretty much lost cause, given the situation they were in. So a lot of micro mistakes, just committing to the wrong sides, the wrong points at the wrong time. And well, that results in the Geese victory, with over 1,500 points of an advantage. So we'll see if White Wolves can turn that around in the next battle, or next 2 battles, as they would need to find their way into the finals. So until then, I'll see you on Arena's battlefields, Commanders.